AirAsia Group CEO Tan Sri Tony Fernandes says he is currently negotiating with the government to secure a loan for the budget airline meant to further support its current cash position amid a tough operating environment. The carrier had a net cash of 2.2 billion ringgit as of end 2019. In an interview with Bloomberg TV earlier, the airline chief said the group has enough cash to keep itself afloat for a while and disagreed with the suggestion that it needed to be bailed out. He was also optimistic that the travel sector will bounce back in due time. Still, he admitted it'd be great to get a loan. Meanwhile, long-haul sister company AirAsia X will be focusing on rationalizing its fleet, with most flights becoming medium-haul. Fernandes explains that the strategy makes sense as travelers are looking to save money, and with travel becoming more regional instead of cross-continental, AirAsia and AirAsia X are in a good spot. The World Health Organization expects the number of COVID-19 cases in Malaysia to reach its highest point in the middle of this month before beginning to fall amid travel and movement restrictions. According to a Reuters report, Ying Ru Lo, WHO's head of mission and representative to Malaysia, Brunei and Singapore, says the infection curve has shown signs of flattening. According to her estimates, the number of critically ill patients in the country should peak within the next week. Ying adds that current data on new infections and additional surveillance measures did not point towards widespread community transmission in the country. However, she warns that the curve could bounce back if the government lifts the movement control measures and if people continue to violate the partial lockdown rules. Malaysia has recorded the highest number of known infections in Southeast Asia with 3,116 confirmed cases. As at today, there are 105 coronavirus patients in ICUs nationwide. 767 have been discharged, while 50 have succumbed to the virus. A special cabinet committee will be set up to develop strategic measures to safeguard the country's economy and labour market affected by COVID-19. The International Trade and Industry Ministry says that the goal of the committee is to find a middle ground between the nation's economic priorities and effective enforcement of the movement control order. The decision, which had been approved, will be co-chaired by Senior Minister and MITI Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Asmin Ali, as well as Senior Minister and Defence Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Other members will comprise those involved in the nation's economy and security. The committee's first meeting is scheduled for April 3rd, while the second meeting is slated for April 5th. All recommendations made will then be presented to the Prime Minister during the Economic Action Council meeting on April 6th. In the meetings, the committee will discuss measures to sustain Malaysia's economic engines, especially the small and medium enterprises during the MCO, and ensure effective mitigation efforts in addressing the displacement of the Malaysian labour force. MITI adds that it will also be engaging with industry players from various sectors to gather insights from people on the ground. The retail and trade brand advocacy has urged the government to take stern action against illicit trade in order to recover billions in revenue that can be used for COVID-19 economic recovery efforts. It classifies illicit trade as smuggling, counterfeit, and tax evasion activities that lead to government tax revenue loss, legitimate business being undermined, and customers being exposed to unregulated or unsafe products. Such products include counterfeit or smuggled luxury goods, electronics, alcoholic beverages, and cigarettes that are usually available on the black market. RTBA Managing Director Heath Michael points out that the tax revenue to GDP ratio in Malaysia had progressively declined from 15.6% in 2012 to 12% in 2018 and then to 11.8% in January to September 2019. He was citing former Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, who said that Malaysia's shadow economy contributes 21% or 300 billion ringgit to GDP annually. Michael also suggests several quick-win strategies, such as policies addressing demand and supply factors, tighter border enforcement, and enhanced intra-regional collaborations. The EPF's wholly owned subsidiary CapitaLand has made Muhammad Hafiz Kasim its managing director designate. His appointment was effective yesterday. He succeeds Datuk Muhammad Lotfi Muhammad Noh, who had retired at the end of March 2020. CapitaLand said Muhammad Hafiz has over 20 years of corporate experience with a focus on real estate, capital markets, private equity, financial services, and accounting. He previously worked with companies including Telekom Malaysia and PwC United Kingdom and Malaysia. He will now lead CapitaLand's strategy and execution in the company's role as a master developer of Kuasa Damansara.